Hello again, and this is Paul with the 52-week garden with another bale gardening tip. I've got a whole stack of new bales here. There's 30 bales to get me started on resetting the 52-week garden. My garden actually takes about 86 bales to set it up in the configuration that I have every year that you've seen in some of the other videos. But today's tip is about what kind of bales can you use and how do you set your bales in the garden. And the tip is about which side of the bale to face up, and it's an important tip. First of all, you can use hay or you can use straw. People ask me this question all the time, hay or straw. You can use hay from any source grass, Bahia, coastal Bermuda, a number of other types of grasses that are available to make hay out of, or you can use straw, which normally comes from a cereal grain. It is the shaft of a cereal grain like a wheat or a rice, or maybe an oat straw or something along that nature. And the straw is packed together and formed into a bale. In this case, we've got Bahia grass right here, and these have been cut with a sickle bar mower, fluffed, and then run through a baling machine and woven together into bales. Now, whether you're using a straw bale or a hay bale, there is a side that you want to be sure that faces up. First of all, I want you to see, here's a bale laying flat. You can see the two bale strings. There's one and there's two. These are nylon and they're orange, and they wrap around the circumference of the bale, okay? Now, what you want to do is you want to tip your bale over to where the narrow side is up and the broad side is facing out. That way your bale will look like this, okay? It's a little taller this way, which gives you a better working height. And also the strings work to your advantage around the outside of the bale. They hold the bale together as the bale decomposes over the course of the growing season. And now that you know that you need the narrow side up and the broad side with the strings out, here's the real important tip. There are two narrow sides to the bale. The first narrow side looks like this, and it is the side that you actually want to have up. You can see here that all of the cut ends of the grass are what are packed together very tightly. You cannot force your hand down in there at all. This bale is super tight. But these are all of the stem end of the grass sticking up, okay? So in other words, all of the stems of the grass are sticking up like this, all bunched together, and you're looking at it end on. You can actually see the little holes in the ends of the stem. They're hollow, all right? Now that is what you want facing up. The other side of the bale, let me turn this over, is the matted side, okay? The matted side looks just like both sides of the bale. It is grass that is crisscrossed and kind of woven together and bent over like this. And you're seeing the knuckle where it bends. That's what all of this is. This is the grass itself woven together and the knuckle end sticking up where it's bent over, okay? This is what you want against the ground. It's much harder, not impossible, but much harder to get your fertilizer and your water to soak down through this. And even after the bale is conditioned for 14 to 20 days and the bale loosens up, it's still hard to get your trowel or your hand into this side of the bale to drop your seeds or your seedlings in. However, if you set your bales in your garden with what we call the stubble side, this is from one end to the other, it's the stubble end of all the grass sticking up like this, all packed tightly together. If you do it this way, the water can get down inside the straws of the grass or straw, and it can also get down very easily, perk down in between. You notice I was able to work my finger down in there a little bit. So this side is much easier for your water and your fertilizer to work its way down in there to get those microbes alive and multiplying and colonizing and converting your bale to compost. And once the bale has conditioned for 14 to 20 days, it's a whole lot easier as the bale loosens up a little bit on this stubble side to open up a hole or a small finger hole or a bigger, deeper hole with a trowel or your hand to drop a seed or a seedling into this bale and tuck it in. So that's your bale tip for today, or your gardening tip, I should say. Your bale gardening tip for today is, remember, strings out, narrow side up, and you want the stubble side of the narrow side of the bale sticking up to make it easy for your fertilizer and your water to perk down, and to make it much easier to plant your seeds and seedlings once the bales are conditioned. All right, so that's your tip for today from the 52-week bale garden. Let's get out there and grow something.